never left. And there may be times when you feel like that He's gone, or that you know, what am I supposed to do now? You just call on the Lord. He's right there. There's never been a time that I haven't talked, even especially here recently, dealing with Dad's illness. I think sometimes you go through things to make you stronger. And you know how many times I pray out loud in my car. One day I was driving home, Dad was being taken to the hospital, and I remember saying out loud, Lord, I'm just going to pray right now, and this is my prayer today. And I just talked and cried and talked. I talked to the Lord. He wants that. He wants us to talk to Him, to know that He's there, because if not, He's going to say, where are you? Chelsea, where are you? Desiree, where are you? But it's up to you now, especially when you do turn 18, when you're off on your own. You decide to choose between right and wrong. It's your choice. It's no longer your guardian, your parents. It's no longer their choice. It's your choice. And I just beg you and pray that you decide to choose the path that the Lord has set for you. He's never failed. He's never going to let you down. But friends have. And I think we can all agree that at some point in our life, somebody has let us down. And some of us can even count on one, maybe two hands, how many friends have let you down. But how many times has the Lord let you down? He's never let you down. And He paid the ultimate price for us. He gave up His life. And you guys have seen the Easter play. Chelsea, you've been in the Easter play. And even though it's just a production, it's just a play, when you feel it. And I know you all who are in the audience, you feel it too. And that's what He did for us. And sometimes we forget about that. We think it's just a story that's being told, and it's more than just a story. Drew asks all the time, because he's so infatuated with the Easter play. He's watched it more times than we have, than we all have put together, I'm sure. His poor little DVD from when Michaela was baby Jesus is skipping. He's watched it so many times. And he even practices being Jesus. I think I told this story before about him. Last fall, he was outside in nothing but his underwear. And I was getting ready to get after him when I realized that he had a snow shovel, and that was his cross. And he walked over to a tree and placed the snow shovel up, and he was pretending to be Jesus. So it's kind of hard to get after the little fellow when he's being Jesus. But in him, that's what he talks about. He'll ask all the time, Mommy, why did Jesus die on the cross? Even a 4-year-old knows there was a reason. And that reason was for you. Was for you guys to be sitting here today where you are. That reason was for you. He died. He gave up His life for you. And even if you had, there's a song, even if you had been the only one, Desiree, even if you had been the only one, He still would have done it. Just so you would be here tonight, and so that you would have the opportunity to go to heaven. And I strongly believe that. And how many friends that you have now, even your best friend, how many friends would do that for you? Would really die. They may say, I would give up my life for you. But when it came down to it, how many friends would do that? But Jesus did that, so don't turn your back on Him. I know I said at the beginning that I would give you advice from a Christian standpoint, and I feel like I've rambled. But some of the other advice that I have was with Bert's song again, choose the Lord. What better advice can we as Christians give to anybody, not just the graduates, but choose the Lord. Because He's the best around. There was another song that I wanted some singers to sing, but they weren't able to be here tonight. But I've kind of been singing it to myself, but it's just remember when you're standing in the valley of decisions and the adversary says give in. What's the rest of it say? Just hold on. The Lord will show up. Just remember when you're standing in the valley of decisions and the adversary says give in. There's going to be a time when somebody tells you just give up. And it may not be a person, it may just be in your mind. It's the devil telling you. Just forget about that. That was just stuff growing up. It's not going to happen. Just give it up. But just hold on, because the Lord will show up. And He will take you through the fire again. I have a few more verses. It's in Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid. Neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with you. Whithersoever thou goest, the Lord is always there with you. What other piece of advice could I give? Better piece, that the Lord is with you. Choose Him because He's never going to leave you. He's always going to be there. Jeremiah 29:11 says, For I know the thoughts I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not evil, to give you an expected end. The Lord wants good things for you. He doesn't want us to fail, to give up. He wants us to succeed. He wants us to do things. And He already knows what's going to happen. He already knows where Chelsea's going to be 15 years from now, where Desiree's going to be 30 years from now. He already knows. And He wants good things to happen to us. But it's up to us to decide, to make those decisions, to make the right decisions for the Lord. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6 says, Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths. I really like the part about lean not unto thine own understanding. Sometimes we may think we know it all, and as a teenager I thought I did. I thought my mom and dad didn't know a thing. And boy, was I wrong. And I know all of you probably did the same thing. Shake your head yes, even though you might not. It made you feel better. See, Mom, it wasn't just me. But, you younger people may think that, my mom and dad, they don't know a thing. I know it all. And you don't. And you don't realize that you don't know it all until you're older, until you have your own family. That's why Mom told me that. That makes sense. And another thing that I always said, and Pam Kennedy had given me this little thing, and it had the serenity prayer on it. And that means so much to me. I know you all have heard it before, and I think I've even mentioned it a time or two that I've been up here. But the serenity prayer is, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. And I'm a control freak. I like to be in control. Right, Jeremy? Oh, okay. Everybody else is shaking their head. You guys don't shake your head. But I like to be in control. Like I like to have control of the checkbook and control of like where Drew's clothes go in the closet. It's really weird. It's an obsession, I think. But I like to be in control of things. So I think that's why this prayer means so much. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. There are some things that I'm not going to be able to change. No matter how much in control that I want to be, I can't change it. I can't change the fact that my dad has cancer. As much as what I would love to change it, I can't. You can't change the fact that you have a big exam next Friday. You can't change the fact that maybe you have a learning disability. And how are you going to overcome that? You can't change that. But the rest of that prayer goes, give me courage to change the things that I can. There are some things that I can do. I can pray for my dad earnestly, wholeheartedly, every day. I can pray for him. Studying for that test that's coming up next Friday, you can study for that, prepare for that, make little notes or get a study group. Those are things that you can do to change that. And the last part of that, and wisdom to know the difference. Making sure that you know that I can't change this, but I can do this. I can't change the fact that my friends are going to a party. You can talk to them, you can witness to them, you can do those kind of things. But you can decide, I'm not going to do that. Having that wisdom to know what's right and what's wrong. And I know I broke that prayer up, so I want to say it all together. But God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Courage to change the things that I can. And wisdom to know the difference. I think that's a prayer, that's a piece of advice that you can give anybody. And to me, that helped me. Even today, that has helped me. But in closing, graduation is a time for hope and promise. And I hope that I have, some pieces of that book that I read is kind of disappointing. And thinking, wow, she's supposed to be encouraging them. And look at what kind of book she's reading. But graduation is a time of hope and promise. But today's graduates, we're getting ready to put them out into the world with a shrinking economy. Our job market is horrible, and it's full of uncertainty. That's what our graduates are going out into. So take a moment just to think about that. That's what they're going out into. But it's during those times of doubt that you have to hold on to your faith. because